Welcome to Geek Fandom Media. I'm your host, Chris, and you guys, we got some updates on James Gunn's Superman. We got some early box office tracking numbers. We got some inside tea about what's been happening behind the scenes with Superman, the editing and all that good stuff we'll talk about in today's video. We are damn near just roughly 45 something days away before we all get to experience possibly, arguably, the greatest superhero film of 2025, you guys. How crazy is that? I cannot wait for July to get here. I am so stoked. When tickets do go on sale, best believe I will give you guys all that information. I'll do a video because I want everybody to be able to get their seats for Superman opening weekend. I am hoping Superman does so much money opening weekend. I am so hyped. I can't express that enough. But not only that, you guys, early this morning, we got a beautiful, wholesome video of Superman, David Cornsweet on set interacting with young children. And it's so much hope in that video. So much optimism. I mean, I love it so much because that's what's been missing from Superman for quite some time. Honestly, we didn't get that much from, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel and BVS. He really took a different direction. So I love the fact that this Superman feels so iconic and so hopeful, to see him, interact and to see him, interact especially with humanity. That's what I'm really looking forward to because, in the last trailer we got, it was so beautiful seeing the guy help Superman get up out of the concrete. It's moments like that are just so beautiful to me, at least. I'm hoping we get a lot of that, during the duration of Superman in the DCU, you guys. But let's talk about some updates for Superman, shall we? Now, this is interesting. So, the movie has had 3 days of pickups in Atlanta, but no major reshoots. Nothing insane, not reshooting the entire movie like they did Captain America Brave New World, it feels like. But yes, you guys, this is typical from, any movie. They're going to have reshoots, into their schedule. It's going to happen because when you finish shooting, now you're in the editing phase and now you get to watch and edit everything. And if you don't like what certain scenes look like, you can now go back and do these small little reshoots to only enhance your film. So this is normal, you guys. John Murphy, this one was interesting to me. John Murphy started the composer providing the John Williams-inspired electric guitar riff, and David Fleming was brought in as an additional composer early on this year. Both of their music will be in the movie. That's interesting. I mean, John Murphy's theme that's been inspired by what John Williams did with the iconic theme of Superman was beautiful. That guitar, it was awesome. So I'm curious to know what this new composer came in and brought to the table for the score of Superman. Because ultimately, man, it's going to be hard to top that John Williams score. It's going to be hard to top any John Williams score. Honestly, he is so iconic. Or John Carpenter, you guys. John Carpenter is probably my favorite musical composer, and I'll admit, my favorite director of all time. I am a John Carpenter stan, you guys. But, he's been brought in to help with the music, and I'm really hoping the music just feels so beautiful in every single second, every single sound, every single musical note in that, score, you guys. I hope it's just, we get goosebumps. I mean, the Hans Zimmer score was absolutely beautiful for Man of Steel 2. I love Hans Zimmer's score. Especially when Superman first takes flight in Man of Steel, it was awesome as hell, you guys. So that's a little small update on the score. Also, Gunn is going to deliver a final and locked-in movie by next Friday. That's 5 weeks before its July 11th release date, and a sign of the studio's satisfaction. Sounds good to me. Look, this is a passion project for James Gunn. He's not going to turn in any old boo-boo movie that's not complete or he is not satisfied with. So if James Gunn is ready to turn in Superman by next Friday and the studio is more than happy with it, then I am more than happy with it. Honestly, that's the way I feel. But you know what? James Gunn did say, The Flash was one of the greatest movies he's ever seen. We all know how The Flash turned out. All jokes aside, I'm excited. James Gunn hasn't missed yet. Honestly, the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad. Actually, no, Creature Commandos really wasn't my cup of tea. I'll be honest with you guys. I like being transparent and very honest with you guys. But, it really wasn't for me. But his track record has been absolutely amazing thus far. And as far as early box office tracking, you guys, Superman is tracking to earn domestically, not worldwide, domestically 154 to 175 on opening weekend based on early forecast. Keep this in mind, tickets are not on sale yet. So this is like an early projection of what the studio thinks that, it could possibly make its opening weekend for that domestic box office. The film is potentially set to soar as 2025's best opening. I can predict, this is a personal prediction, that Superman pulls in anywhere between worldwide opening weekend. I'm going to give it 225 to 230. I think Superman makes a lot of money. I think Superman makes a lot of money. Now, you can go back to Superman's track record, dating back to the Christopher Reeves films and the Richard Donner stuff. They, ultimately didn't do that much money. The Superman Returns back in the early 2000s with Brandon Routh, that didn't do great. It made some money. Man of Steel pulled in, I think, anywhere between, correct me if I'm wrong, like $600 to $700 million worldwide. BVS is a Superman sequel to Man of Steel. Yes, I did say that. And that pulled in anywhere between, I think, like $750 to $850 in its entire duration of being in theatrical release. So no Superman film has ever made $1 billion. But I do believe that, with James Gunn being at the head of DC Studios, James Gunn really, steering the wheel and, having Superman be the first massive big project to come out for DC Studios, I think that, they're headed in the right direction and, the numbers can definitely be there. I mean, James Gunn has never made $1 billion at the box office, ultimately. His Guardians movies always made a lot of money, but nothing really made $1 billion at the box office. But his Guardians trilogy is damn near perfect. Arguably one of the greatest trilogies of all time, you guys. My greatest trilogy of all time, I gotta give it to, gotta be Lord of the Rings, y'all. You can't go wrong with the Lord of the Rings. That's easily one of the greatest trilogies of all time. But I'm excited, you guys. Small little tidbit updates on Superman, box office tracking, behind the scenes stuff happening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And, I'm hyped. Everybody get hyped because Superman is on its way. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Geek Fandom Media. Peace.